Hi guys, I'm Molly with Balayroo. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a soft summer balayage. This is also a color correction. So what we're going to be doing today is darkening up her roots and then kind of blending out from this little rusty color we got going on down here, giving her some natural flowing highlights, all using our Balayroo applicator. This is going to give us a soft, nice blended look, and it's also going to go faster for us. So let's get started. For my color formulations today, I'm using all Paul Mitchell brand. I used the Synchro Lift with 40 volume. The reason I used 40 volume is because we get a little bit of a hard time with lift in her hair. And I also used Olaplex, and you have to bump up a level when you're using Olaplex. I mixed my bleach a little bit thicker because I'm going to be putting it in my Balayroo. It's going to be a little bit easier to work with that way. And then for my color retouch at the root, I did 5NN and 4AA. So this has Olaplex in it as well, just to keep her hair nice and healthy. This is Shine, so it's the semi-permanent. That way she won't have any harsh lines of demarcation when her hair kind of grows out a little bit. It's going to look nice the whole time. This is my Balayroo applicator, and we're really excited to get started, so let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to do her retouch now. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to section her out into 4 sections. Keep my hair in place. I'm just going to put some product in there. I've done her root retouch. I didn't bring it down very far. You can kind of see that she has all these different shades in here. So we go from kind of a pretty dark to a rusty color down here. So we really want to blend that out. I left this because this is going to be darker than this just by a little bit, and I want a really soft blend. So that'll kind of give me that that blend look of having different colors without it being so stark and lined. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to do diagonal sections. And I'm not going to do super thin sections, but not really thick ones either. Just enough. And I'm going to do a pretty big weave because I want to get some of those statement pieces in there. I'm going to go, here's my Balayroo, and I'm going to fill it up with my lightener. So you just apply some product on the inside, on both sides. And then you put your fingers in the very tips here. And this way we can get a lot of saturation, kind of deciding where you want to go on the hair strand. Some are going to be up pretty high and some are going to be down lower. I'm going to use these corners to really blend it out so it's nice and subtle at the top and bright at the bottom. Now what I love about the Balayroo is that especially for Keely, because she has such a hard time getting lift, it's going to saturate that really well and get her as lifted as she possibly can be without ruining her hair. Getting that really good blend, kind of going up in the corners. And then I'm going to put mine in a foil. Don't feel like you have to. You can let it sit. Just because she has a hard time getting lift, I want to incubate the foil as much as I can. So around the face, I like to kind of start down a little bit lower and then focus in on my corner out here. That way it gets a really nice blend towards the front. You can see the brightness towards the front, and it gives that really pretty appearance of it being blended and fading down really well. So I keep it low on this end and bring it higher up over here. And you can see how smooth it's going on. I don't have to blend this out with my fingers or a brush or anything because it's just such a smooth application. It's also a lot less lightener up here. So what's going to happen is it's going to softly fade from light to lightest down here. So instead of you doing all the work with that, the Balayroo's doing it for you. They're the grooved edges inside here is really going to saturate through the hair, and it's going to give you the best, fastest, and nicest appearance. So when you're weaving out for your balayage, you can leave your part where it normally is, because that way you can visualize exactly where your lightener is going to go. And then on the heavy side especially, I like to weave really small on the outer corner here and then gradually pick up bigger pieces around the face. This is going to cause you to have lighter and bolder pieces around the face, and then it gradually, slowly get a little bit darker, less vibrant back. It's going to be a really pretty transition, a really pretty fade, and a really pretty blend. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to go through and I'm going to apply a color to these ends because I noticed that they're a little bit brassy and I want to get as much neutralization, as much ash as I can in this color. So I'm going to do a little bit lighter than my root color formula. I did a 6A and a 5NN. And I'm going to use my Balayroo to apply this because saturation is the name of the game here, and that's what the Balayroo is great for. So I'm just loading my product onto each side of this. This is just 5 volume in my color because I just really want to get that deposit. So you can see how easy this is saturating all my hair with using the least amount of color. And I can just move really quickly through this process because it doesn't need to be perfect, doesn't need to be pretty. As long as it's saturated, it's going to come out nice in the end. So I'm just going to refill my color here. So the nice thing about this Balayroo is that it's the same one that I used for my balayage highlighting. It's totally washable, really durable, flexible too, so you don't have to have more than one or get a new one every time you're using it. It's totally reusable, and you can really get that saturation good with color applications. You can go through a normal color application usually takes me about 30 minutes just for a root touch-up. If I have to go through the ends of their hair and it's really dense, it takes me about 45, but with this I can do it all in the 30 minutes that I've allotted, and then they're out quick with a nice saturated color. You can get these at a number of retailers. We'll link it down below so that you can purchase your own if this is something that you want to integrate into your salon. Okay guys, so I'm taking out her foils and you can see we got some lift here. Keely doesn't lift great, so that's why I wanted to use the Balayroo on her hair, especially because it gets that saturation, and this is quite a bit of lift for her. I'm going to tone her with a 7NB and an 8A because she's not that light, so I want to make sure that we get that coverage in her hair and that it will actually deposit the pigment we want. So I'm going to take these out and then we'll tone. So I just really want to saturate this toner into her hair so it can deposit into those light pieces. I don't really need to get up on her root very much because all of her color is more focused towards the bottom. The worst thing you can do when you're applying toner is not get the bottom here. A lot of people, they'll be like really nice on the top and toned on the top, and then you lift them up and they have all this golden bronzy stuff down here because you're not getting the toner completely worked through. That's really important when you're toning those balayages. So this is our finished product with Keely. You can see that we dropped her down about a level on the top, blended it down. It's a really soft, natural fade, really pretty blend. We got quite a bit of lift out of her for what she normally can pull. Usually we get a really orangey finish on her ends, but I'm telling you guys, with that Balayroo, you can get that saturation you need to get the lift out of your clients, even the resistant ones. We toned her with a 7 and 8 level just because I wanted the deposit to take really well. And there's really no orange in there. We have some warmth because that caramel balayage is really in this season. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I'm Molly with Balayroo. If you guys have any more questions or anything you want to see again, you can visit our website, www.balayroo.com, or you can check out our Facebook page.